Hey everybody, it's John DePietro, and this is the part you've been waiting for. Mike is kind enough to show us where the ground zero is for the water leak, which seemed to be very innocent, and the damage is just kind of amazing. Mike, can you just kind of tell us where this where this all began?
Let's just sneak right in here.
Okay.
The problem with this particular vehicle started right here, right on the back side of the water heater. The hot water side, the fitting's been replaced, and it's a white PVC fitting. As we can see down below, they use brass going into the tank, not that particular plastic fitting. And the water's been dripping. You can see a corrosion mark on here. And then if we look a little further down, we can actually see everything's blackened and mildewed, all on the stanchion brace that holds that water heater up.
Okay, and that was visible to the owner during this whole time, or was that all
this
covered up?
This particular one was covered up. There's a panel that goes here, a garnish panel, and it was rugged. So he probably would not have seen that on daily in and out of this cabinet. What happened is it leaked and it all went forward and under this wall. So that's what ended up giving us our problem out in the kitchen area underneath the slide out. But that's where it all began, right there.
So a leak, just a tiny little
drip,
leak.
Just a drip.
Okay, so show us. Well, let me take a walk out here. Okay, now, Mike, obviously this is not one of those with the terrace on it. You had to take the whole slide out, right?
Correct. We had to remove the slide-out room, which houses the kitchen area, as well as part of the living room area.
Okay.
We had to disconnect the plumbing and the electrical supply.
Oh, went to the sink there?
This all goes to the sink because the big room is made to actuate in and out. Everything's got to be built on a loop.
Okay.
So all the wiring and the plumbing can go out. But getting back to our problem...
Let me just interrupt you. This is not a low-end unit, right?
Absolutely not.
I mean, this is a pretty good...
Absolutely not. This is a very expensive motorhome. It can happen to anybody, though.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what the cost of the vehicle you own or you camp with. It can happen to anyone.
Water plays no favorites,
You really have to be cognizant and checking all the time. It's not a rain leak. It's not a plumbing leak. And making sure... you know, that you don't have any problems starting like this one.
Okay, so show us over there what has happened.
This leak came from that water heater where we just showed you, and it came underneath this wall. The water heater is just on the other side, and you can see where the water's been puddling in here.
Is that still wet to the touch?
This is.
Oh, just show me that.
This motorhome has been in the garage now over a month.
You're just picking that part.
There's the floor right there. There's his floor. It is a particle board,
okay.
a chipboard floor, but we can keep digging. We're down to the insulation right now.
Okay.
There's the insulation underneath this floor. So all 5/8 or ½ inch, I should say, of that is gone. It's all rotted.
How long do you think, Mike, that would have taken to do that kind of damage?
This probably took a year or two to give that much damage.
Okay.
One drip at a time. But again, they're all the type of material that will drink. It will just keep, you know, being fibrous like this. It'll just keep drinking.
It's kind of like a cracker that you put in your soup. It'll
basically, once it's full, it just can't sustain anymore.
Okay.
And this gentleman noticed his tile work was starting to break, because the subfloor underneath it had gone.
So this is the tile here.
This is the tile, right, and we actually have a subfloor just for tile. This is meant just to support tile, right here. And then this is the actual floor of the motorhome.
Which is rotted through.
This piece is all gone. I've already removed it. And what I was just scraping up is the actual motorhome floor, because here's his insulation board, the blue insulation board.
Okay.
So we're going right down. We may even have steel structure damage on down there.
Okay, because you can see the rust right on the
absolutely
the edge.
Sure.
Right here of the what do you call it?
Just a flange opening.
Okay. So, Mike, how can the average RV owner who's not capable of doing... Again, how can we solve this issue before it becomes an issue? How can we nip it in the bud?
It's just visuals, going around checking once or twice a year. Make sure underneath your sinks are dry, the traps, the feed lines for the faucets. I mean, if you have appliances in your mid to lower end units like trailers and pop-ups, you can see the backs of them. In this case, this one's garnished off with a little piece of paneling, but only 2 screws takes that off.
Okay.
And you do have to get in there to bypass the water heater in the winter anyway. So that's your opportunity to take 2 more screws out if you can't see it. Remove the covering and take a look.
Just a
to
visual
make
look.
Sure.
Or
right.
and if you don't want to get taking wood out, you can just kind of like rub your hands on the floor.
Check for musty smells, things like that. If there's water setting for a long time, carpeting and so forth, and or a wood rotting problem, you're going to smell a must problem.
Okay. Now we're up in the Northeast, so the owner's not losing his use of this right now.
Correct.
But he's going to be losing some money, and you know, it's just sad. But
truthfully, yes, it is. But again, it's all in being cognizant about what you have. You know, you have plumbing in here. You need to keep checking it over and making sure that nothing's leaking.
Okay. And obviously, you'll be able to put this back in. You got it on a hoist from the ceiling.
No problem. We can once the
else.
repair work is done, the room will be put back in.
We still don't know how far the damage goes, right? I mean, we're still checking here.
I'm pretty sure the damage isn't going to go much further forward, but we don't know about depth. There is a steel structure underneath this floor, so we don't know what that is until we actually get to it.
Okay, Mike, thanks for this potentially thousands of dollars of money-saving tips.
Thank you, John.
Have a great day.
You too.